Hi fans of high quality entertainment. Now, I have a second channel called ASMR Lyric Raves, but I'm not uploading any more videos to that channel. I'm just going to concentrate on this channel. And so one of the things I would have done on the other channel is, for instance, when I buy a new magazine, I might just go through it a little bit and talk about it. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I also wanted to mention, because I've been talking about David Bowie quite a lot lately, I apologize. No, I don't. And I finally listened to this complete album last night, and it is just as good as a lot of his earlier albums. I was really, really impressed with it. And I still need to listen to Earthling and Hours and more of his later albums. Slowly but surely. And also his stage live album, Remastered. That was awesome. So here we are with, this is by the makers of Uncut magazine, The Ultimate Genre Guide to Glam. And okay, T-Rex. Let's talk about T-Rex. I actually have this album, The Slider, which I absolutely love. It's my favorite T-Rex album. I've never had Electric Warrior, but of course I've heard it on Spotify and it's really good. My favorite T-Rex song is Bang a Gong, Get It On, but I enjoy T-Rex. I'm not a huge fan, but I've liked Mark Bolan's music. So, nice article on T-Rex. And then, nice long article on T-Rex. Slade. I never got into Slade. I thought, I didn't care for the look of them. I knew it was humor, humor based of course, but that Dave Hill, this guy here, I always thought he was a bit of a dork. I mean, he was playing, I know, just this bizarre dressed up character. There he is right there. It was just, plus I wasn't big on their music either, so I'm not a fan of Slade. But I respect what they've done, in the 70s. This guy, I'm obsessed with him right now. I basically have only been listening to David Bowie for the last 2-3 weeks, for the most part. I would say 80% David Bowie. And I might actually consider him the greatest solo artist of all time. I'll have to think it over, but I think it's getting that way. And Hunky Dory, I've listened to it enough that I absolutely love it. But Station to Station, possibly my favorite album of his, Black Star, The Next Day, of course Ziggy Stardust. So a nice long article on David Bowie. Alice Cooper. I love early Alice Cooper. I never really got into Alice's solo career, but the first few albums with the original Alice Cooper band I absolutely loved. My favorite is probably, I guess it would be Killer, but School's Out is awesome. I never really got into $1 Billion Babies that much. I never actually had that on vinyl, but I've heard it and it's great. And the two early albums, I really like Easy Action. So early Alice Cooper is great. Roxy Music, I never got into them. I've heard some of it and I enjoy it, but I don't think they're a band I would really get into. There's their early albums. Of course, Eno. I love Eno's production that he did later on. Love is a Drug is a great track, and I'm not saying I don't like them. It's just I've never really taken the time to appreciate them. The New York Dolls. I never got into them. But, you know, I've heard their music. I was trying to think of the name. Personality Crisis. I really like that track. Then Mott the Hoople. Once again, never really got into that band, although I've heard, you know, their hit singles and all that, and enjoyed some of them. Ian Hunter, of course. The Sweet. I actually had this album on vinyl back in the day, in the mid-70s. And they started out as like a bubblegum glam band, and they started actually playing on their own records after a while. And I mean, Ballroom Blitz is a great track, and Action, and so I do like some of their songs. Dressed Up Silly. It's part of being glam, I guess. Dressing up really crazy. Roy Wood and WIZZARD. Of course, he was in The Move and later at the beginning of Electric Light Orchestra. I know he's very talented from what I've read, and I have heard some of The Move music, which I liked, and a little bit of his, but just never got into his music. The 40 Best Glam Singles. 10cc, Queen, Lou Reed, Mott the Hoople, Slade, Mud, New York Dolls, Susie Quattro, Roxy Music. At number 6, Sparks. This town ain't big enough for both of us. I don't know if they're really glam though. They were just kind of labeled in that era. Cockney Rebel, never heard their music. I've heard of this band, Sparks. They definitely resist time, place, and fashion, and look set to outlast any of their apparent peers from the glam era. Even in a genre of oddballs, freaks, and divas, Sparks remain misfits to the end. Elton John, he was even labeled in with the glam, of course, because he would get all dressed up. Outrageous costumes. Of course, I love early Elton John, all of his hit singles and a lot of his early albums I used to buy. So, definitely a great talent. Queen. Yes, I still am. I still love Queen. Although Queen 2, I just never ever... I mean, side 2 I enjoy more than side 1, but side 1 of Queen 2 I just could never get into. But I love their debut album and Sheer Heart Attack and a lot of their later albums. one of the best rock bands ever, for sure. And that is about it. There's that silly Dave Hill from Slade again. Matt Bolan. So that's it. Just a pretty interesting read, if you ever come across this. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. I hope this was very relaxing to watch, unless you fell asleep.